for the boys.
Woo! Oh, I fucked.
Good morning, guys. What is going on? Welcome back to another video. Over contrast, so that's what's going on. So right now, I'm gonna start working on the Del Sol again. Got a few other things they gotta do to it. I got a new door handle cable, and surprisingly enough, they only make the American driver side, which is the Japanese driver side, because I don't know if you guys know this, but whenever you're buying parts or looking at a parts catalog for Hondas and stuff, like the pages that have everything blown out for each thing, and it's got all the like numbers and what the part number is according to that or whatever. Yeah, that's based off of a Japanese model, so right-hand drive. So the driver door, the passenger on my car, they didn't make the cable anymore. It's discontinued, but surprisingly enough, they made the cable on the inside. So that means my door opens from the inside now. I got it fixed. It was a pain in the butt, but bam, there we go. I'm so stoked on that because now I don't have to reach out the window like a dummy at a gas station. But still got to put this AC compressor pulley on, or tensioner pulley, I'm sorry. And then thanks to AD for hooking it up because he's got parts for everything. Yeah, so got to put that on, and then I got to go pick up my master keys because I got 2 master keys cut for the car for like $8 after tax at the dealership. And then I got to bleed the brakes, so got my little bottle here. And I'll be doing that today, and then possibly going to the junkyard. So I'm gonna get the car jacked up quick, get everything ready, crawl under there, try and get this pulley on, hope for the best, and then try and charge the system, see what happens. Alright, so I got the wheels off, car's jacked up obviously, and then I actually just fixed my hood too, because it used to have a pretty good, like an inch gap. Turns out the latch just needed to be adjusted, so I loosened it up, pushed it down, tightened it back up, and now there's hardly any gap under the stay. Now there's hardly any gap between the hood and the front bumper, so I'm going to crawl under here. I'm going to get the splash shield off because surprisingly the car still has it. So although nice that it still has it, kind of tedious for me right now. But just a couple bolts, couple clips. We'll get this off in a sec. And then, yeah, get the pulley on. I have to find a bolt for it though, or a nut. We'll come to that bridge when we, or yeah, whatever. You know what I mean. Alright, so you can see right there that that's where the tensioner is supposed to be. And here's the one that I got. So I guess I'll kind of just play around with it till I feel like I can get it done, and I'll figure out how to do it. Honestly, I've never done a D-series AC tensioner before. I mean, can't be that hard though, right? So yeah, we'll do it. And once I get it, I will show you guys. Then we can start bleeding the brakes. Ran into a bit of a problem just now. I got the tensioner and everything put on, but I noticed that the tensioner was like, I have a spacer that I found still sitting on the bolt when the tensioner fell off. When I took the cover off, it was still sitting on this. But the issue is this is not long enough, because I flipped the pulley both ways, and either way, without that spacer, it sits inside like a 1/4 inch. So the belt is sitting like that. If you kind of get what I'm saying, like the belt's like warped like that, because it's not sitting parallel or flush or whatever with the crank pulley and the AC compressor pulley. So I tried using the spacer, and then I just barely started hand tightening this, and then I got one turn with a wrench and it stripped out. So the threads are completely smoothed out. You can't see it on the fisheye really, but so I gotta head over to the junkyard really quick, and I gotta go get a new one of these. But I have to go to the junkyard anyway, because there's supposed to be a Del Sol there, and I was gonna go today anyway. Just kind of stressing this now. I mean, it's a simple fix, but it's a difficult fix because I don't really know where to get a bolt like this. It's got the thing through it other than the junkyard. So yeah, switch to GoPro footage. See you at the junkyard. Alright, so I got this Civic here. This one's got the tensioner at the top here, so I'm gonna just try and pull that quick. You can see it right there, but it looks like it should be the same exact style. So grab this tensioner and then try and find that Del Sol here somewhere. Alright, so I found the bolt that I was looking for. Got it and whatnot, so I'm just trying to find a Del Sol right now because the website lists like 8 different Civics here, so technically a Del Sol is a Civic Del Sol, so no luck though. This is the issue that I've run into right now. Like I said, this is this bolt right here is the one that was stripped. So I went to the junkyard and I was able to get this bolt off of the same exact engine. There's one Civic there because the website lied to me. But this bolt is a little bit shorter. So I think what I'm going to do, I also got this one, but this one's too skinny. The pulley's going to be like slopping back and forth on it, but I kind of just got it just for reference really. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to end up cutting the head off of this one since it's got the tap piece on it, and then just welding it to another bolt that's long enough. And I guess we'll just try that. So that way I can have the length that I need, but I can still have this head. Alright, so I took this longer bolt, I think it was an M10 by 125 that I had found at the junkyard, and it looks to be the right length, so I just cut the head off the other tensioner that came off the car and I just welded it on here, so should be good. I found a backing nut for us. I'm gonna go try and put it on and hopefully it'll work. So my makeshift bolt worked.
Looks like a good alignment.
So now just got to pretty much try and get the AC charged. I don't know, we're gonna hook up the gauge to it, see where it's at, and now that I can get the compressor to hopefully kick in because it's got tension on it's got a belt. Hopefully getting one step closer. The good news is that the compressor kicked in. I got to put another washer on the spacer because the spacer that was on the car was a little too thick, so I put a smaller one. It's just a little too thin, so when I kicked the compressor on it squealed for a second. So just one teeny more little washer to space it out a little bit. But the air actually out of the side vents was a little bit warmer, but the center vents were actually a little decently cool. So not cold, but cool. Yeah, I just tried to let some out of the low side of the valve where the do-it-yourself cans or whatever. Why is it so dark? Where the do-it-yourself cans where you like fill it or whatever, and I didn't see any particles or anything spray everywhere, because I know if you see like gray dots everywhere like that sprinkle around, that's stop leak. I didn't see any of that, so we're gonna run to Walmart quick and we're gonna pick up some charge and try it, and hopefully I'll have AC after that. I got the other washer put on. It's nice and good now, just to be safe. Whatever how ghetto you think it may be, put a second bolt on it because it's hot out today, so the Loctite's just dripping off like water. So we're gonna hook up the hose right now to a little DIY can. And for all you butthurts that complain about not using a vacuum system and whatnot, if I can get it to work like this and I know the air is working, then I will definitely just be going to work because we have an AC machine down at Hasport. And I'll be doing it that way too, so don't get all butthurt. Leave the pissy comments to yourself. But this works just fine.
Okay, you gotta start the engine.
Alright, so he'll be doing the can, and I'm gonna go see if it gets cool.
I think it's cold. Feels good.
Pulley's holding up. And I know that the pulley is sagging down before. Like the pulley is really low in comparison to where it's supposed to be, because I think factory, from all the Civics I saw at the junkyard, it's mounted more up top. Like I said, this is an aftermarket AC system that some shop had to rig up. I'm not the one that paid them to do the shop, it was on the car. So don't get mad at me. air is cooling off, so I think it's starting to work. So hopefully we can get it cold. The AC is definitely working now, so I'm extremely stoked for that. I do need to get it charged because we can't get it to, I think it's, I don't know what the number's on the friggin' gauge on the Camion, but we can't get it to the 45, which is like where it should be. It's probably standing about like a 41 right now. So I do need to vacuum the system regardless, obviously. So yeah, hopefully I'll be able to do that tomorrow at work, vacuum it, recharge it. And so it's blowing pretty cool right now, but I want to see if we can get it as cold as we can get it, because if you guys know Arizona, you know summers here ain't no joke. But yeah, super stoked. Got freaking AC. This car is coming together piece by piece, slowly but surely, and I've already only had it for like a week. So yeah, next, bleeding the brakes. Me and my dad just got done bleeding the brakes, so I'm gonna spin the car around the block, see how the AC feels with some fresh air going through it and getting it up in the RPMs a little bit, you know. Working a little bit, and see how the brakes feel. Because before, as soon as you started pushing on the brakes, it felt really loose, and then it pretty much goes straight to the floor, and you had to like pump the brakes as you were slowing down to get them to grab it all. So now the pedal feels much more solid. So good. All right, so I was right. The AC works even better when you're obviously out driving and whatnot. But yeah, it started getting pretty cool, pretty nice. So it'll definitely get a little bit cooler once I vacuum the system, but I'm definitely stoked on where we are as for now. The brakes, after I got driving, got squishy again, not nearly as bad. The pedal used to go to the floor, now it goes probably about 3/4 of the way down, so definitely need some rotors because they're definitely warped. So some rotors and some probably just a new master cylinder, and I should be good to go. So now next objective is to get the radio wired in, because it has a radio in it, but it's one of the older style like head units where you can like take the screen off, and the last owner before the guy that I got it from, I think, never gave him the screen for it, so don't have one. So hopefully I can get one wired, and I got a few laying around here, just gotta see if I have the harnesses for them. I got a head unit, but I went to go wire it in, and I still have to finish taking the rest of the old one out. But I noticed that there's all these big old fat yellow like amp wires and all this junk in here for a system, which I don't have. I just have door speakers and stuff. So I'm just taking the interior out really quick to rip all this wiring out, because it's got the amp in the trunk too, but I don't need that. So got most of it taken out, just a few more screws, and then lift the bench out and then pull these wires. So I don't want to cut them because they are nice wires, they're Rockford Fosgate, so I'll reuse them later on if I ever do put a system in here, but for now it's just ugly and in the way. This is all the freaking stereo wire that whatever ignorant douchebag put this whatever system was in this car. You're a ghetto ass jerk. For real. I spent the last hour digging that wire out. You cut up the carpet for no good reason. You really poorly hid everything, actually. So yeah, hopefully that guy gets some karma for doing such a bad job at wiring in the system. Now that I got all that trash wiring out of the way, I cleaned under the seats, I found what was rattling and all this other crap. Now I can plug in, try and wire in my head unit. So yeah, PSA, if you don't know how to wire in stereos, don't do it. Especially if you're trying to wire in a system and you're using a bunch of ghetto friggin' wire putting butt connectors every 6 inches. You suck. Don't do it. So it's the next day now, and when I was at work, I was asking around if anybody had knew anybody with a D-Series tranny, and Roy had a tranny, because like I said, that this one's got like the bad differential bearing or something on it, and so got me a tranny, and I already ordered a clutch flywheel throwout bearing setup for it, and I also ordered some hard race trailing arm bushings for the car too, because these ones are totally shot, and as soon as you hit a bump of any sort, especially if you're going around a turn or a bend or something, the whole rear end of the car, you can feel it. Feels like it's about to spin out because it's like swaying all over. So yeah, so here it is. Just gotta clean it up, but it's already got the bracket and stuff on it, so yeah, it's good. So we're gonna be doing this all the parts should be middle of next week. Should be here middle of next week. So that means not this weekend because today's Friday, or Thursday, but next weekend I'll be doing all of it. So tranny, clutch, flywheel, trailing arm bushings, and then once all that is done, then probably the paycheck after that, I'll get a new master cylinder and some brakes and some brake pads and rotors. I'm sorry, and then we will have pretty much a fully functioning car. It'll be sick. Then after that, I can start saving for some coilovers and some wheels and stuff. So yeah, really stoked. But yeah, today I'm in the mood to go skate, so I'm gonna go do that. But I suppose I can also get some GoPro, like some driving shots of the Integra, because I haven't driven the Integra in probably about a week now. So probably be nice to get out and stretch the legs on that. So yeah, I'll lace up the GoPro and pull this tranny out of here because I gotta take it to work or whatever, obviously tomorrow. And yeah, go get some shots and then I'll go skate.